Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Joye Lee-McNelis is brought to you by Bancorp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by Hattiesburg Coca-Cola. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. The City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, we love logistics. One Mississippi, now open for small business. And the University of Southern Mississippi. It's great to be a Golden Eagle.
Welcome back inside another edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis. The Lady Eagles got a couple of big wins now, 12-6, 5-2 in Conference USA, and they continue play this week against the Marshall Thundering Herd in the Western Kentucky Lady Toppers. And Coach, so glad to have you with us again. And we go back and look last week at the big wins over Rice and against North Texas, and we start with the Rice Owls, and they were everything we thought they would be. Maya Hawkins comes out. She's hitting threes from everywhere. Lady Eagles started a little slow in that basketball game, but it was a pair of runs, 14-4 to close the first half, and then later, about 5 minutes into the second half, a 17-0 run that, as we talked about prior to the game, was a difference in the ball game.
It was a difference, Josh. You know, going into that second half, we were really concerned because, as you know, that's where we have struggled coming out of the locker room. We went like 1 for 18 before we ever hit a bucket in that stretch. Our defense was holding on for us to be able to keep our lead. But again, Rice was just clawing back into it by the play of Maya Hawkins, by the play of Crystal Porter, getting many offensive rebounds and stickbacks and really causing us a lot of problems. But again, in that final segment from about the 12-minute mark or the 11-minute mark in the second half, the Lady Eagles went on an unbelievable run, and it was headed by Geronte Clemens. Absolutely a spectacular game and a spectacular finish, almost having a triple-double, but really took this Lady Eagle basketball team under her wings and said, we're going to win this game. But then again, Josh, it wasn't just Geronte Clemens. We had 3 other Lady Eagles in double digits that really sealed that victory, and it gave us 20 assists to 23 baskets. That's truly team play.
Brittany Dinkins knocking down threes. Brooke Rhodes, good to see her get back and really figure out that she's a transition three-ball shooter as well. Tamara Jones had a big ball game, and it really propelled the Lady Eagles into the game against North Texas. It was a 65-54 win over Rice. They come back in the short turnaround, pick up a 67-55 win over North Texas, and the Lady Eagles had a brilliant stretch of basketball again to close out the first half and to open up the second half.
You know, it's the best we've ever done, Josh, in opening up a second half. You know, 4 minutes going into halftime and 4 minutes coming out. You know, as a coaching staff, we decided to get them back on the floor a little bit early, try to get them on the floor at the 5-minute mark. So maybe they could get a little more warmed up, hit a few more buckets, and really get back in a rhythm so that we would be able to really start the half. We did that. The Lady Eagles missed a few bunnies to start it out, but it didn't take long for us to really catch fire and really score the basketball. You know, again, Megan Brown was no doubt a budding star in that basketball game, just as she was in the UTEP game. Almost perfect from shooting the basketball. Hit big shots for us and really clutch shots for us when we were kind of struggling at times offensively.
It was a 14-2 run to end the first half, 9-0 run to start the second half. And then right after our game wrapped up, we were cheering for Doc and the men, and they go up to the Super Pit.
Awesome.
And they took some of that good luck the Lady Eagles have had in overtime and got them a big, huge win. So proud for Doc and his staff.
So proud, you know, because, again, I've been there. I know how he feels. I know how the players feel. And it's tough when you're fighting and clawing every single day and doing everything in your power to help your team be successful. And then as a player, you're busting it every day, and it's like, okay, when is it going to happen for us? And again, we're very proud that it happened for them, and now they got the monkey off their back, and I tell you what, they're getting ready to soar.
Lady Eagles pick up 2 big wins, and congratulations again to Doc and the men for their big win over in Denton, Texas. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with more of the show. We'll reach higher with Pauline Love. We'll hear from Diana Lyons. We'll catch up with Brooke Rhodes, and then in our final segment, we'll hear from Coach McNelis again to look ahead to the Marshall Thundering Herd as well as Western Kentucky. And Coach is mic'd up. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll be back right after this on Southern Miss Sports Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis.
Conference USA celebrates 20 years.
Each CUSA member has a history of greats.
Deanna Jackson is part of UAB history.
Old Dominion has Tisha Panachera.
Southern Miss has Jamera Faulkner.
Jerica Coley is from FIU.
And La Tech has Teresa Weatherspoon.
Together, we are the next 20 years.
The next generation of Conference USA.
Don't miss 1 minute of Who's Next.
From the very beginning, your life is made up of a series of moments. Each moment requires you to make a choice. Sometimes you don't really have much of a choice. But for the moments that you do, the big moments, what will you choose? Choose to discover your own path, to defy expectations, to be challenged. Choose to ask, what if? To make a difference. Choose to give back. Choose to do something that matters and make every moment count. Choose Southern Miss.
Hi, I'm Assistant Coach Pauline Love here at the University of Southern Mississippi. Today with me I have senior Tamara Jones and sophomore Kiara Jordan. And today we're going to teach you the Jack Sigma. The Jack Sigma is used if you're playing against a bigger opponent or when somebody's playing straight in your back. Right here, we're going to start on the block with Tamara Jones, back to the basket. We always use this move to step and stick, so that's exactly what she's doing. We're stepping and sticking first. As the pass is coming, Tamara is going to step with her baseline foot, and the first shot we're going to do, which is going to go straight up because she's playing straight in the back, we're going to get a jump shot. So here we go. Tamara, you ready? Step, stick. Ball, 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 ball. Knock down. Let's try it again. Come on. Let's make it. Here we go. Ball, 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 ball. There you go. And the next move we got, we're going to get it here from Kiara Jordan. We're going to use the shot fake with it. Same move, same stance. Step, stick, thumbs to the ears, shot fake, and get to the basket. Here we go. Ball, ball, ball. Shot fake, there you go. Play B. Here we go, one last time, KJ. Ball, ball. Shot fake, get to the rim. Perfect. And I'm Coach Love, helping you reach higher. Thank you.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis. We're at the 40th anniversary celebration of Southern Miss Lady Eagle basketball, and we are joined by Diana Lyons, the great post player, 1977 and 1979, one of the originals of Southern Miss Lady Eagle basketball. And Diana, you live here right down the road in Petal, Mississippi. We're so glad we were able to get you. Shirley and I were talking about this, that we needed to have you on the program, and you got to come back, be a part of this 40th anniversary celebration, be a part of this great event, take in Southern Miss Lady Eagle basketball. We'll get to your thoughts on the team this year and the anniversary in a moment, but let's catch up with you a little bit. What have you been up to these recent years?
Well, I recently retired, in 2006, and I kind of just hang around with my husband, goes to his practices and enjoy still being around kids trying to learn how to play the game of basketball.
It was very neat to get your perspective with the Lady Eagles today. You took in the Lady Eagles UTEP game, and that was neat for you to be able to watch the game and then give your input. An outsider's perspective, rebounding, free throws, a couple of things you noticed that you were able to encourage them that might be a couple areas they needed to fine-tune here this season.
Yes, I thought the rebounding today was not very good, and it's something they need to spend time working on.
And then the free throws, we know they've been spending a lot of time on that, but I love what Joy says about it. Some people need to spend 30 minutes studying for a test. Some need to spend 3 or 6 hours. So it's that pride issue that we know the ladies are going to get after. This particular event, this 40 years of Lady Eagle basketball, this was a neat event. Brent Jones and the marketing staff and the Lady Eagles staff with Jeff Sturz, Tanisha Garlington, the staff did a phenomenal job. It seemed like you and the ladies, that it went by too fast for you. Did y'all have a ball?
We had a good time. It was wonderful being able to mingle with former players and getting to know what's going on with them, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that.
We mentioned that with Brent that maybe there needs to be a homecoming, kind of an annual thing, maybe a luncheon and some tailgating and taking in a game. I think that that's something you'd be all for, wouldn't it?
Yes, I would.
Diana, when we look at the future of Lady Eagle basketball. It's in great hands with Coach McNelis, her 11th season.
Right.
Give us your thoughts on your relationship with Joy and Shirley and being so close and being able to stay connected to the program and the exciting projection this team's on.
Okay. Well, really, I think they're doing a wonderful job. I'm very proud of Joy being able to be an athlete here at the Southern University and then going off and coming back home and being able to spend time with the alma mater.
What has Southern Miss meant to you? When you look now years removed from it, and we heard a lot of players talk about this was your start. You wouldn't be where you were today without it. What has it meant to you?
Well, to be honest, Southern Miss allowed me to have a lifestyle that was comfortable, and it gave me a new start for my future. That's the way I look at it. Like I told Coach Shames, you know, if it wasn't for her taking a chance on me, I'd have no idea what my life would be like.
As we can hear, the visiting and the fun is still going on behind us as we are in the process of wrapping up this anniversary. Moving forward, advice for future Lady Eagles. There might be some young ladies watching this show that might be wanting to find out what Southern Miss is all about. In fact, they might be being recruited by Southern Miss and maybe years down the road watching this, and there's current Lady Eagles that are going to go check out this show. What is your advice to Lady Eagles that are current, that are future Lady Eagles, of how special this place is and what they need to do or what they need to take from it?
Well, I view the university as a university that cares about not only just the athletes, they care about their students, and it's a great place to learn. It's a great community to be involved in, and I advise every child that's being recruited by Joy to come and take a look at it and make a decision for yourself. I think you'll enjoy the visit, and I'm hoping that you'll make that decision to come to the university.
Diana, so great to be able to have just a few minutes to get to know you a little bit better and meet you and visit with you. It's been a pleasure, and we look forward to doing it again soon.
Thank you.
That's Diana Lyons, a Lady Eagle legend, joining us here on Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis. We will take a break. We'll continue with more of the show after these words. You're watching Southern Miss Sports Today. Welcome back to Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis as we are joined by senior Brooke Rhodes in our Lady Eagles Spotlight segment. So neat to have, as I say, the pride of Pelahatchie here. She refers to herself as just an old farm girl, and well, I think you're very humble, Brooke. All the records that you've set, the three-point shots that you're remembered for out of East Rankin Academy, transfer from Delta State where you were fighting Ochre there. And, you know, it's been quite a journey here to Southern Miss. And I want to go all the way back to when you were playing at East Rankin Academy. When you were winning those back-to-back Player of the Year honors, Southern Miss was on your radar. And at the time, you thought maybe Hattiesburg, believe it or not, was a little too big. Take us back through that story, but how it all came full circle, and now you're a Lady Eagle.
A lot of people told me, you know, I wasn't a Division I player. I'm 5'6", so I'm small. From a small town, never really been out of Pelahatchie too much, you know, and so I felt like Delta State was a better fit for me at the time, and at the time it may have been because at Delta State I got to grow up a lot, and I learned a lot about leadership and, you know, not always being the best person on the floor. When I was at Delta State, I played behind 6 seniors my freshman year, which was tough, so I learned a lot through that and how to be a leader even if I'm not on the floor. And, you know, the journey here, it was fun, but I'm really glad to be here.
How tough was it for you to be a player who had to sit out last year after doing very well, being all Gulf South Conference at Delta State, having to come and sit out a year, but still being voted captain? It was a little bit mixed emotions because you know you were ready to go, but you had to sit out. How tough was that?
It was tough, and I knew that I had to make a difference whenever I came here because Coach McNelis gave me a great opportunity to come and play, and I know I couldn't do anything really on the floor except be a good practice player, and so the way I could make a difference was being a leader and being a captain, even when I was sitting on the bench at home games or texting people, texting them before away games, just trying to get people fired up, and that's kind of my role even now when I'm playing, is to kind of be the energizer. So.
Brooke, what was the moment like for you when you finally got to put on the uniform, finally got to go out and take part in a ball game at the Division I level? How sweet was that for you?
It was awesome. That's what everybody dreams of when they're playing high school, is to play Division I basketball somewhere, and to get to have a pretty good role on the team is doing that. And I was really nervous at first. I called my mom and I was like, "Mom, it's happening. My dreams are really coming true." And so it was really fun.
36 threes for Brooke this season, one of the top in makes per game in the league. She's also 5th in the conference. Her and Tamara Jones are neck and neck in terms of three-point percentage at better than 41%, and you're averaging almost 10 points per game. But it's even the other things you do on the floor. It's the communication, as you said, the motivation. You also have a job to do on the defensive end, and you play as many minutes as anybody on the team. So your role is quite a large one, but again, being that senior, one of the seniors on this team, you embrace it.
I'm not very good defensively on the ball because I'm not quite as quick as everybody else, and so when I'm off the ball, I have to kind of make up with my not so good on the ball by talking a lot and kind of telling people where to go, because I understand the game, and I want to learn because I want to be a coach one day, so I try to learn everything. And just the motivating part, sometimes it's easy to get down, and coach tells us not to be front runners, and when things are going good, it's easy to be happy. And so in some of the games that we've been down a little bit, I just tell let's chip away here, let's get ahead here, can't do it all at once, kind of like at Middle Tennessee. We were down 19, and I try to tell everybody after we huddled with the coach, we kind of had a little lag time there, and things like we can't get them all back at once, so get a stop, get a bucket, get a stop, get a bucket, and just things of talking, and that other players they know what to say, but they won't say it. So.
And one of the things you said that most players won't say, and it's something that is a dose in humility and any player can learn from, and it's because also Brooke has got a coach's mind, is the fact that Brooke, you being able to accurately analyze yourself, know the strengths of your game, know your weaknesses in your ball game. But even though that, like you said, you might be a half step slower or a step slower when you're defending on ball, that just means you get down a little lower, you set your mind to it a little bit more, you work a little harder. That energy, though, can wear you out, talking all game, having to work harder to defend on ball. All the things you do, we've seen late in ball games that sometimes takes the legs out of you a little bit. Now, is that frustrating for you, or are you always trying to every day continue to strengthen your endurance?
It's frustrating. I hear Coach Deal yell at me if I shoot a shot short, legs, and so that kind of helps me to remember, because it's really a mind thing of getting your legs under the ball. It's early in games it's easy to remember, but when you're tired and a little more fatigued, it's harder. But he always tries to remind me, and that always helps at the end.
For you, though, being able to come to grips with where your game is, and you're one of the best guards in the league with everything you bring to the table, did that make the game easier for you? Are you able to relax a little bit more because you haven't put unrealistic expectations on yourself?
Probably, and I don't expect to be the Showtime player or anything. I just want to be that solid player that doesn't turn the ball over, that passes the ball when when I see people open in the post, and people come out and guard me, and so that helps Fat and Alex and B-Dink and all them to get easy driving lanes to the basket, and that's the kind of player I want to be, just that solid player that talks and is smart and does the little things.
And Brooke, in closing, what has it meant for you, the journey so far? You'll be a GA next year, so the journey's got a long way to go. You're actually about at the halfway point. What does it all mean to you?
I just really, I'm very humbled that I was able to be here, and every day I would thank Coach McNelis every day if I could, and if it wouldn't be weird, just about letting her, getting me here, and even let me be a GA next year. I want to be a college coach, and so that's just another opportunity that she's allowed me to have, and it's just really special and it's exciting. It's weird that I only have 11 regular season games left, but it's exciting at the same time.
And personally, I think she's a little bit of good luck as well. 39-13 after she's been a part of the program. Those are pretty good numbers for Brooke Rhodes. Brooke, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
That's Brooke Rhodes. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with our final segment of Southern Miss Sports Today. We'll be mic'd up with Coach McNelis, and then Coach McNelis will look ahead to the big games this week against the Marshall Thundering Herd and the Lady Toppers of Western Kentucky. Back after this, you're watching Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis.
One Mississippi, your health insurance marketplace, is open for small business. I'm Mississippi's Insurance Commissioner Mike Cheney, and I'm proud to say that One Mississippi is a one-stop shop where small business owners with 50 or fewer full-time employees can shop, compare, and choose from several flexible and affordable health insurance options. Enroll online at onemississippi.com or through an insurance agent. One Mississippi, now open for small business.
Gunderman Group.
Gunderman Group is growing.
Getting in a groove.
Growth is gratifying.
Goal is to grow.
Gotta get greater growth.
I just talked to UPS. They've got expert advice, special discounts, new technologies, like smart pickups. They'll only show up when you print a label, and it's automatic. We save time and money.
Time? Money?
Time and money.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
I love logistics.
Let's go, team. Show us what we got. Let's go. Oh! Oh! No, B. There you go. Hey, y'all got to talk. You got to switch that action. You got to talk. Bam. Get in there, ball. Offensively, if they are going to continue to squeeze the ball screen, X-Metzel's going to be wide open. Because when we set that screen and they are squeezing that screen action, you nail her, she is going to be wide open. Let's go, Lady Eagle break, run! Run it, X!
Welcome back to the final segment of Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis. You just saw Coach mic'd up. She's mic'd up again here for this final segment to talk about the Marshall Thundering Herd and the Lady Toppers. And we'll start with the Marshall Thundering Herd. And Matt Daniel and you are good friends. And Matt's a guy, though, that has different philosophies in terms of you're a coach who uses the timeout as good as anybody in the country. Matt believes there are no timeouts in life. He'll let his players play through adversity. So neat that y'all, especially Matt, really look at the way you coach and admire each other, but have two totally different philosophies.
You know, and there's always more than one way to skin a cat. That's what my dad's always told me. And yes, Matt's a very dear friend of mine, and you know, he is the reason that we have a Laura Sharp on our staff. So he always reminds me that I owe him something, but I don't want to give him a win, that's for sure. I'll just take him to dinner. But I tell you what, he really has the Thundering Herd rolling, Josh. They are playing extremely well. You know, last year they gained a lot of momentum late in the year, and Leah Scott did a great job in being an unbelievable vocal leader. This year it is simply amazing. They have built on, because they returned the majority of their players, they built on his philosophy, and they are beginning to soar. I tell you, they have played unbelievable basketball. And, you know, they were preseason picked toward the bottom of the league. They're going to be that team that finishes in the top half of the league. I really believe that. So it's a real challenge for the Lady Eagles in Huntington, Gray, Drury, West Virginia. And that will be on Thursday night. So we've got to be ready for that game.
We're hoping the snow comes and goes and maybe we get a ray of sunshine while we're up there. And I was smiling when you said...
I've never had sunshine there.
Once. It was 2 years ago. First time. So, I mean, maybe I'm thinking of it more fondly. But, again, you talk about the Lady Eagles. You talk about Marshall starting to soar. Rumble, right, Coach? We don't want them rumbling.
That's right.
Later this week. And then we will bus. We'll get on a bus. We'll head to Bowling Green, Kentucky. Lady Toppers, new to the league, inaugural season. We sure don't want to make them feel too at home in Conference USA, but they're a fantastic basketball team. They get upset last weekend on the road at UTSA. That speaks to the strength of the league. They'll be hungry this week.
You know, they really will. And Coach Hurd has done an unbelievable job. And she was a player at Western Kentucky under Paul Sanderford many years ago, and has come back and has just really rebuilt that program into what Coach Sanderford had it many, many years ago. and has done a tremendous job, Michelle is also a very good friend of mine, and I'm just really proud of what she's been able to do there and really rebuild the whole family atmosphere that they had there. And so hats off to her. She has an unbelievable team, Josh. She has 3 players. All 3 of them were on the preseason all-conference team. You know, their post player, Gooch, was preseason player of the year in the league. Govan, holy smoke, she is unbelievable. If you could draft somebody off the other team, I would draft Govan to be on our team. You know, she is a 3-4 player, but also can play the 2, can play the 1, can play the 5. Her versatility is unbelievable. And the 2 of them anchor, but they have a great support cast. Their point guard, number 5, truly is the heart and soul of their team. She is, her name slips my mind, but I can't, her face doesn't. You know, she is that player that is truly the glue of that Western Kentucky team. And again, they've ranked in the top 25. They're a very good basketball team. They've had tremendous respect throughout the nation by all the voters in the AP poll. They're also a team that's been to consecutive NCAA tournament appearances. So Josh, in less than 48 hours when we play in Huntington, West Virginia, make the journey over, we play a 2 o'clock game on Saturday against the Hilltoppers. So we've got to be ready. You know, on Monday, we prepare for our game that we play on Saturday. That's kind of what we do. And then it gives us Tuesday, Wednesday for us to prepare for our game on Thursday. And then we have the one-day Friday to finish preparing for the game on Saturday. We had a great practice on Monday. It was a really good job. And again, the total focus was on us and Western Kentucky. And so, again, the Lady Eagles have to take it one game at a time. We've really got to make sure we have all our I's dotted and our T's crossed for the Marshall Thundering Herd, and then it is the Hilltoppers.
It's going to be another exciting week of Southern Miss Lady Eagle basketball on the road Thursday at Marshall, and that'll be a 4:30 airtime, 5 o'clock Central Time tip. Then on Saturday, 1:30 airtime, 2 o'clock Central Time tip for Southern Miss and the Lady Toppers. For Coach McNelis, for Brooke Rhodes, for Diana Lyons, for Pauline Love, I'm Josh West saying until next time, you've been watching Southern Miss Sports Today on the Southern Miss IMG Sports Network.